like you guys gave into any of those. What went into kind of like getting past that and playing as well as you did?
I think it starts with the leadership of Derek, Drew, Jason, and Jalen. Starts with them and their approach to the game. And then I think it's a real testament of Sam, Peyton, Nimi, Oshae, Svi, and Lamar, guys that just work at it every day, of them being excited for the opportunity that they have. And to me, it affirms our system. It affirms the daily work they put in, and then it affirms the character of the locker room.
First quarter, you guys were moving the ball well, but the shots weren't falling. Feels like maybe in the past that would have been kind of a cue for some guys to just try to take over on their own. Today, you kept on moving the ball. You kept on sticking with it. Kind of similar to the first question. What leads to that kind of growth in this team to just keep moving the ball and end up with, 31 assists in this game?
I think that's something we've been doing the last 3 or 4 games. It happened in the first Cleveland game where we didn't get off to a good start offensively, but we chipped away. And so I think it's just the mindset that the guys are building and the trust that they're building. I think because it's just a group of veteran guys that they're just supposed to click right away. And I see a significant difference in the trust that the guys have in each other than I did in the beginning of the year, because it just comes with time. So our offensive intentionality and our execution and the awareness that we're playing with on offense, I think, makes us pass more because we're seeing advantages and we're seeing mismatches and we're screening the right way, and it makes reads easier.
Season high, 14 steals. You guys played a ton in transition. This is a team that really, especially early in this game, was really kind of controlling the half court. So how important was it to just get out on the run as much as possible?
On our offense?
Yeah.
That's something we've also tried to emphasize the last 5 or 6 games, and Jalen's done a good job of just leading that approach to our offensive pace. And when you can get out and score early baskets in transition, it gets us cross-match, and then I think it really sparks our defense. I think the advantage tonight for us was speed, and I think we used it on both ends of the floor. But that's just what we kept saying, is we have the speed advantage, we have to find a way to keep it.
JT played some 5 tonight. You kind of use a ton of different guys in those big rotations.
Yeah.
Just what were the different challenges that the big setup, like the big depth chart that you had tonight?
There weren't many challenges. It was more just like the opportunity. Like, we got to play 5 or 6 different defensive coverages. We got to change matchups. We got to do something. So it was more opportunity doing different things, and like kind of go back to what we talked about of like success looking different for everybody. The bench guys playing, but also like you get to see tonight like Jalen's ability to take over in the first quarter, Jason's ability to control the game, Derek going and pick and rolls, Drew's defense. Like, you start to see the type of value that each guy can bring on a different night, and it was on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, Oshae hadn't played in 3 weeks, I think, before tonight. What kind of lift did he give you, and what can you kind of say about his professionalism?
Oshae?
Yeah, Oshae, to kind of stay ready.
I keep reminding him we signed him because he hit 6 threes against us in a game when we chose to put the 5 on him. And so he's been in this league. He's played on good teams. He's been coached. Like, he's just a professional. And so it goes back to just the work that he puts in every day, that I have no hesitation of going with any of those guys on any day because I see what they do daily. And so you almost want opportunities like this to affirm their work ethic and their professionalism. And Oshae, we talk just about every day, and I just appreciate his maturity. And I thought he played great.
On Oshae, Joe, part of the rotation early in the year, more or less, and then the long layoff before this. Is there something he's sort of working on behind the scenes over that stretch to, be prepared for this moment and do better in this moment?
Yeah. I think just figuring out what the team needs. Those guys are tough because they don't really have a set lineup that they play with, and so they don't know who's going to be guarding them. They don't know what sets we run with that lineup, and so it's really hard for them. So I think it's just getting used to both our offensive and defensive system, knowing how he can be effective in that. And I think sometimes, he made a good point when him and I talked the other day, is like when you get to watch the game, you get to see what our team lacks at times, and then you start to develop an identity of like, I can be this for our team. And so as he's been on different teams, he's had different identities, and like he's seen that he could be that energy guy, the great screener that creates advantages, offensive rebounds. And, tonight you kind of saw like that he can do that for us.
What kind of things did you have to draw up on both ends to, have those smaller lineups out there, looks that you don't usually have, combinations? Like, you mentioned going to different coverages, and then on offense not having the big as a screener.
Yeah, just more. It was really just spread pick and roll, making sure we were very intentional about the right matchup, and then having the right screen versus the right coverage to get the 2-on-1, and then making sure we made the right play. So we called probably less actually than we normally did, and just really tried to work our execution.
Joe, your game down there was interesting. Kristaps got hurt. They kind of ran up the score for the end season. Then they celebrated as if they won a playoff series. Like, do you tell your players to kind of put something in their Rolodex of games? You might not have to urge them much, but do you say, okay, guys, remember this, or remember the next time you play them? How do you approach something like that?
Like you said, I probably don't have to do it too much, but the guys know. I mean, this is a team that's well coached, that is tough, that has played us very well the last 4 or 5 times we play them, and they're going to play us really well, and I expect Sunday's game to be extremely harder than tonight's game was. So I don't think you have to tell them, but it just says a lot to the guys to come on a back-to-back shorthanded and bring the right mindset and the right intensity. I think it says more about us than it does about anything else.
And then there's a play, 36 seconds left. Schofield goes for a dunk. Lamar blocks him.
Yes.
That playing till the last minute.
Yes.
Not letting another team get an uncontested dunk. That's got to really get you going.
That really did. That's one of my favorite plays of the game. And to me, it just says about, like I said, it talks to the character of the locker room. It talks to the character of that group to just keep playing. So I love that he did that, and, it was great.
Joe, there were a couple times underneath when, Drew and Derek got switched onto bigs, and it seemed like they were able to kind of plant their feet and hold their own. How much did that give you go lift tonight?
Yeah, it was good. I thought our pickup points were good, and I thought when we did red, we were able to push catches out and force them. And I thought our ball pressure was good, which made the pass harder, which is the 14 steals that we got. So I thought our just active hands on the ball. I thought our ability to push the catch out, and then I thought our shift activity was good. So it was just a well-connected defense, all 3 levels.
And just real quick on Jalen, I mean, he had some electric dunks tonight. Just, how big was him attacking the rim?
Yeah, like I said, he's kind of led the charge as far as our pace offensively, getting out to early starts, getting early baskets. And so when he does that, it gets the crowd involved. I think it keeps us engaged defensively. It gets us easy baskets. It takes the pressure of our half-court offense.
Joe, coming into the year, depth was sort of a talking point. So far this season, Pritchard,
For you guys, not for me. I wasn't worried.
In the media,
Yeah.
but Pritchard has thrown more assists to Hauser than anybody else, and Hauser has thrown more assists to Pritchard than anyone else. How big is it that those guys are not only finding comfortability playing with the stars, but within each other too?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, those guys, since day one, I coached them both in summer leagues. I've always known they were going to be great rotation players, and I had full confidence in them last year and full confidence in them this year. And again, I keep saying it, but what they do every day, they work out together every day. And I think the growth for them this year has been on the defensive end. They continue to get better in our system, but on the offensive end, like you said, they learned how to, what's a JT Peyton pick and roll look like? What's a JB Sam pick and roll look like? And so they're learning how to navigate those 2-man reads with those guys, and they've been great for us. Thank you, Joe. Thanks.